Welcome to Kinesiology 470, Organization and Administration of Exercise Science Programs. My name is Dr. Jim Ave, and I'm the instructor for our class. I want to welcome you to our class, and in this video I'm just going to provide an overview of our class and what you expect from our class and how to be successful in this class. So let's start. In all my classes, I like to include a verse from the Bible on the syllabus, and for this class I picked Colossians 3:17 from the English Standard Version. And the Apostle Paul wrote to the Colossae church, "And whatever you do, in word or deeds, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him." So in this class we're going to be talking about how to organize and do administration like at a fitness center. And so you're going to be doing stuff. So whatever you do, you're doing your class in words and in deeds. Do it. Remember, you're a student, and your job right now is to be the best student. And you're hopefully, if you're a follower of Christ, you do it to honor Lord Jesus, as like I am doing when I teach. I'm trying to honor my Lord in how I teach. So my contact information you can see on the syllabus. If you have questions, start with the Q&A discussion forum, and I'll answer your questions there within 24 hours. Or if you have personal questions that you need to talk to me about, contact me through my email, through Canvas, or my direct email, as you can see there on the syllabus. I also have my cell phone because I'm not on campus much. I work from home. You can text me. But I just ask that if you do text me or call me, probably won't answer the phone if you call. So if you text, tell me that you're a student in this class, tell me your name, and tell me your question, and I'll get back to you probably pretty quick. Now, if it's a weekend, I may not get back to you because I'm pretty busy. I got a family and all that, and I'm pretty busy with family. So on weekends, I don't respond as quickly. So need to stay ahead of the schedule. So if you have questions, you can ask those questions earlier in the week. Okay, here's our two textbooks for the class. The ACSM Health/Fitness Facility Standards and Guidelines is required book because you're going to be building we'll talk about this more, but you're going to be building a facilities operational manual based on these standards. So you're going to need this book. And I will refer to it through the class. Other book it's by Gordon T. Smith. It's called Courage and Calling. It's our faith integration thing in our class. So you're going to be reading basically a chapter a week and having a discussion about it, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Course catalog. And what are we going to do in this class? This is an in-depth discussion of various aspects of organization and administration of exercise programs for health and performance fitness. Topics include risk management, facility design and management, personnel management, and budgeting. Just so you know, I want to integrate AI into this class. So this entire course was created using AI. I use ChatGPT, Claude, and Gronk, primarily Claude, as my sources. So I used it to do a lot of stuff for this class. And you are also going to use AI in the integration of your course. And all the assignments have an AI component and have AI directions for you to use AI reflections, because this is where the future is. And the future is now. We're going to have to use AI and figure out how to use it. So that's one of my goals, is to teach you how to use AI. And so on this slide, and I have this also in our class, it's a pretty cool tool here that shows you all the different types of AI tools that are out there and what they're primarily used for. And for this class, you'll be using the ones that are in the research part of the wheel, some of the text part of the wheel, maybe video. I don't think you'll use video much. Imagery, maybe. If you want to do some imagery there, you can do coding, probably not, and speech, probably not, and 3D, probably not. So again, the primary ones you'll probably end up using is ChatGPT, Claude, Gronk, and some of the other ones in using AI. Again, that's kind of our goal here, is for you to utilize AI and learn how to use it. So our course structure is, everything is geared towards developing a comprehensive operation manual. So every week you're going to be having an assignment that is designed to create this operations manual. That's the signature assignment, the primary assignment in this class. And again, every assignment is doing that. And that's going to go ahead and this manual includes all these different areas that you're going to develop. So it's pretty comprehensive. And as I stated in class, if you want to do this as a group project of 2 students, I'm okay with that. But I just want both students to do the same amount of work. So you'll have to contact me and let me know if you're going to do this as a group, if you're going to do that. And as you start getting into it after the week 1, and you say, man, this is a lot of work, I think I want to do this with somebody else, you can do that after week 1. After week 2, probably not. So we'll see how things go. So in this class, you're going to be turning in rough drafts. Again, these are based on weekly assignments. In week 5, you're going to turn in sections 1 through 5 of the comprehensive project. And draft 2 is week 6, which will be sections 4 through 6. Draft 3 will be in week 12, which is sections 7 through 9. And our final operation manual is due in week 15, and that's the complete, looks great document. The goal is that you should be able to run a GB3, for example, with this document. So that's the goal. You're going to come up with your own kind of facility that you want to operate with this. So you have some choices with that. Other assignments in our class are practice quizzes. So when we go over week 1, there'll be a week 1 practice quiz. It's not worth any points. You can take it as many times as you want. And the whole idea is to get you ready for the midterm and the final exam. Those are timed and they are worth points. So the practice quizzes will get you ready for the midterm and the final exam. Again, you can take them as many times as you want. And they are, the midterm and final are going to be very similar to the practice quizzes. The other assignment in this class is weekly devotionals, also known as Courage in College Reflections. So starting in week 2, you'll start reading 1 chapter a week. So in week 2, you'll read the introduction in chapter 1. And then you'll post in the discussion board 1 paragraph on basically a summary of the chapter, and 1 paragraph on how can you apply this material in your personal life and in your future professional life, because you're not working yet in your career because you're undergraduate students, but how can you see this helping you grow in your career? And then you'll post 1 to 2 open-ended questions for other students to answer. An open-ended question is a question that cannot be answered by a yes or no response. So that's typically going to be due on a Friday. Then over the weekend, you need to read and respond to 2 other students' questions, answer their questions, and your responses back to your fellow students should be a minimum of 1 fully developed paragraph. So if they have 2 questions, you answer 2 questions, that should be 2 paragraphs. So we have some interactions with one another in this class. How to be successful in this class. Number 1, most important thing is that you want to learn. You enrolled in this class. I assume you want to learn this material. Have the attitude that I want to learn. If you have that desire to want to learn the material, get the most that you can out of this class. If you're unsure what the heck's going on in this class, ask me questions. I'm here. I don't have office hours, but I work virtually. I work online. I teach online. So email me, post questions in the Q&A forum, but don't not, or make sure you ask those questions that you have, because I want to make sure that I can help you. Again, maybe the stuff I uploaded that AI created wasn't clear to you. So let's get clarity. But try to start working in the Q&A forum first, because since this is a new class for me, this is the first time I've taught it. And this is the first time you're obviously taking it. Hopefully the last time. Also. Maybe if you have a question, other students in the class are going to have a similar question. So let's get clarity on that. And if things aren't making sense, I'll make changes so we can make it easier and more beneficial to you. The number one thing to be successful in this class is time management. Since we're not meeting on campus for an hour and 15 minutes on a Monday or Wednesday or Tuesday, Thursday, you need to put time in your schedule that you actually are doing coursework. So that means that you put in your schedule that you're working a minimum of 3 to 6 to 10 hours a week on the course material. Start early. Don't wait till the weekends to do the material, even though the assignments are due on Sundays. Start on Monday. Read what the stuff says. Get online, because you're going to be working with AI. Start doing the readings. Listen to the lectures. They're short lectures. Don't wait till the last minute. The other thing to be successful is if you know that you are going to be late on an assignment because you're sick, you're traveling because you're on a sports team, please communicate that to me early. If you're sick, what I cannot stand is when a student emails me on a Sunday at 10 o'clock at night that they've been sick for the last 4 days or 3 days and not going to be able to finish the assignment. Email me the day that you get sick, or at least the second day, and you know you're not going to be able to complete the assignment. I'll give you a grace. But I'm not going to give you grace if you email me on a Sunday and you've been sick for 4 days. Okay? If you get in a car accident and something like that, life happens, I'm going to give you grace. Just communicate that to me. You're an adult. Be an adult. Treat me like an adult. This is like your job now. This is what you are doing as your career, is being a student. Everything that you do in a classroom does translate into your career. Last information is course requirements. Submit assignments on time. It's kind of talked about that. Excuse me. There are very detailed assignments you'll see later in the semester. I have 2 different types. I have assignments that are very detailed or brief. They're a little bit different. Choose whatever one you want to follow. But if you use the brief descriptions, follow the requirements for that assignment to turn in what you got to do. It's about the same amount of work. It's a little bit the same amount of work. It's just the details are more. The detail assignments have obviously more detail. So you might want to download them both and see which one helps you more. But follow those directions. The formatting matters to me. So the directions will provide you some formatting stuff, so make sure you submit that. If you struggle with writing, you can use a AI tool called Grammarly. It's free. I have it on my computer. I have it on my all of my websites or whatever on my web browsers, because I'm not a very good writer. So it helps me with my grammar. So I would recommend that you download that on your laptop or computer. Discussion board assignments, expectations. I expect us to treat one another with respect, but I also expect you to have a thoughtful response and initial response. Yes, no is not an acceptable response. Your thoughts need to be completely developed and thought out. And if you're for the Courage and Calling, you should be citing the textbook. Following APA. I am going to give you feedback. More than likely, it's going to be within Canvas. So make sure that you read that feedback and make the updates that I point out on your weekly assignments. So when you get your drafts, I expect those changes that I've asked you to make to be made by the time you turn in each draft. The goal is by the time you turn in your final paper, it's a finished product because you've been working on it all semester long, and you should get an A on it because you've been working on it. That's my goal. As always, if you're not sure what the heck's going on and you need assistance, please ask.